Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Luke and I do perfume reviews. First and foremost, I wish you all a very happy new year, filled with health and happiness. May all your wishes come true in the new year. I've been busy buying new fragrances again, so I thought there's no better way to start the new year than with a perfume haul. I'll stop rambling, so without further ado, let's get into the video. The first fragrance that I purchased is Cabochard from the French couture house of Grès. It came out in the late 1950s and it's a classic Chypre fragrance. This fragrance is neither floral nor sweet. It's not oriental and it's not fresh. It's a complete opposite of what is popular today. This is a classic Lavery Chypre. Cabochard means stubborn or headstrong. This is Lavery. Very leathery and animalic, as well as very bitter, earthy, mossy, woody and green. This is an old-fashioned Chypre scent with raw leather, earthy oak moss and patchouli. It's vintage style, aldehydic, slightly soapy in the opening. There's a subtle floral undertone that gives it a touch of greenness and soapiness. When you first smell this, you can't believe this is not a masculine fragrance because it smells so woody and earthy, and it has no sweetness at all at the beginning. But as it evolves, as it dries down, the scent transitions into a smoother, warmer and sweeter scent. It sort of resembles other old-school feminine classic fragrances. It's still distinctly unisex by today's standards, but it has the sort of sweetness and softness that sets it apart from fragrances like Aramis, which is another 60s Lavery Chypre. It's very similar to Cabochard, but it's more masculine. Cabochard is a scent from another time. It's incredibly classy and elegant. It has that old world feel. It's like a time capsule. It takes you to a time where a scent like this was considered the embodiment of sophistication and elegance. And interestingly, Cabochard wasn't released as a high-end scent. It came in a simple bottle adorned with a simple bow because Madame Grès had to cut costs. It remains a timeless scent for those who can appreciate it. This fragrance is dark, gothic, and not for the faint of heart. It was released in 1959, created by Bernard Chant. It shares similarities with Azuré from Estée Lauder, released in 1969, created by the same perfumer. And it's also kind of similar to Bondy from Robert Piguet, created in 1944. It also vaguely reminds me of the original Miss Dior from 1947, a scent that I also really like. It was my grandma's fragrance, and Miss Dior is a potent green Chypre with galbanum and oak moss in abundance, complemented by delicate floral notes. I find this type of fragrance way more vintage smelling and old-fashioned than, say, classic orientals and aldehydic florals like Chanel No. 5. And I know that's just my impression, but Miss Dior and Cabochard smell more vintage than Shalimar or Chanel No. 5 to my nose. And if someone has any theories why that is, please let me know. Anyway, I appreciate this scent profile a lot, even though I tend to gravitate towards Chypres that are a little or a lot easier on the nose and just a little more likable and less challenging. So floral Chypres or fruity Chypres. Even though Cabochard has some floral touches, it's predominantly a bitter, woody, leathery and mossy fragrance. It's a classic Chypre. It's very classy and old-fashioned. And as I always say, it's not for everyone, but it is for me. I won't delve into the story behind the creation of Cabochard, but if I decide to do a full review, I'll certainly share it with you. But you can always find it on the internet if you want. The next fragrance is from Elizabeth Taylor and it's called Diamonds and Emeralds. It was released in 1993. This is from her White Diamonds line and I really enjoy the original White Diamonds as well, but I don't own it because it's quite similar to Isatis from Givenchy. I also like Passion from Elizabeth Taylor, but that's an older fragrance and it doesn't really resemble Diamonds and Emeralds. So Diamonds and Emeralds is an opulent, vintage-style white floral scent. It's predominantly a tuberose, gardenia and peach scent. It's a classic white floral bouquet with lots of sweet peach. You get the luscious, creamy gardenia, the tuberose, some carnation, and a very sweet, jammy peach note. This is very sweet and peachy. The tuberose is the star of the show. The flowers in this fragrance are in full bloom, and they're sweet and full of nectar and ever so slightly indolic. This scent is ever so slightly animalic. The warm ambery base beautifully rounds out the fragrance. I simply adore this fragrance. It's a sweet, vintage-style floral. It doesn't smell overly old-fashioned, but it feels very much like other Elizabeth Taylor scents. Very traditional, yet voluptuous and extravagant, much like Elizabeth herself. And I don't know if you know this, but she actually wore all of her fragrances herself, unlike today's celebrities who put their names on products they would never personally use. So Diamonds and Emeralds is a beautiful, sweet and creamy floral scent. It's opulent, bold, sensual and unapologetic. It's cheap as chips. You get a lot of class for very little money. I got this for under £10. It's very similar to Rare Gold by Avon, as well as the classic Fracas by Robert Piguet. But Fracas, of course, smells much more expensive than Diamonds and Emeralds. It also gets compared to Amarige from Givenchy, but in my opinion, it smells nothing like Amarige. So if you want a dupe for Amarige, this is not going to be it. Amarige is much more green, much fresher. It has more of those yellow flowers, while this is just a gardenia, tuberose and peach scent. Before I move on to the next fragrance, I must mention that Diamonds and Emeralds was allegedly created by Sophia Groisman and Carlos Benaim. And by the way, I'm currently working on a very intriguing video about Sophia Groisman's perfumes. The next fragrance that I purchased is Green Tea from Elizabeth Arden. This has been around since the late 90s and it's a classic tea scent. It's fresh, citrusy and green. It's very refreshing, slightly watery, slightly citrusy. It's not really a winter scent, but I picked it up because the price was amazing. I got this for under £10. It opens with a burst of freshness in the opening. It smells clean, green, citrusy, and it turns into this clean-smelling musky scent once it dries down. It's a great year-round scent in my opinion. In terms of performance, it's a moderate performer, which is to be expected for this kind of scent. The projection is good for around an hour, then it's more of a skin scent. It lasts around 5 hours on me, and I just like to spray it all over as a standalone scent or to freshen up during the day. It's a nice scent, but it's nothing to write home about. I also use it as a bedtime scent, just a light spray before bed, or maybe when you're lounging at home all day long and you just need something light, refreshing and comforting. So that was Green Tea from Elizabeth Arden. And last but not least, we've got Vanilla from Alyssa Ashley. Alyssa Ashley is a pure vanilla scent. It's just vanilla, a touch of florals and some citrusy notes in the opening, but it's predominantly a pure vanilla scent. This has been around since 1990, and I think it's an amazing, simple vanilla scent. For everyone who loves vanilla, I don't think you can go wrong with this. This is your sweet, creamy, slightly cakey vanilla that doesn't smell like a modern foodie gourmand. No, this is a sweet 90s style vanilla scent. It's in the same vein as Chopard Casimir, but they're not really similar. Cashmere is more about the peach and the vanilla, and this is just a pure vanilla. If you have a vanilla body lotion or some sort of vanilla scented product, you've smelled this scent before. It's nothing special, but it's such a nice scent that you can use it for layering, or you can just wear it by itself if you want to. I usually use it for layering. It's not a beast mode performer, but it does perform decently. It's quite strong when you spray it on, and it does last all day on my skin, but for a £10 fragrance, this is amazing. And the best thing about it is that it doesn't smell like your cheap drugstore body spray type of vanilla scent. It really doesn't. This is a great vanilla scent in my opinion, and I'm not a perfume snob, but I have to draw a line somewhere. I don't wear anything that smells cheap or synthetic, and let's be honest, blind buying cheapies very often goes wrong, and we end up disliking something just because it smells cheap. This is not the case with Elisa Ashley Vanilla. This is 10 times better than all your Victoria's Secret vanilla body mists. Elisa Ashley Vanilla is a great fragrance. I recommend it, even though it's very affordable. So that was all from me for today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of these fragrances in the comments. Until next time, bye.